it's Janet Wakeland here with Remarkably Created, and tonight in our video we are going to be looking at lots of ideas for the mini jam jars. We're going to do a quick review of the ideas that I shared the other night, and then I have lots more ideas for you, and I'll take you through some tips and tricks for some of the ideas that I'm going to share with you. So let's go ahead and let's get this camera turned around. Let's bring in some light to douse those shadows. And what we're talking about again are these sweet little mini jam jars. You can order them online in my boutique, 155685. They are 2 inches tall. The top here is a 2.5 inch circumference. They are food safe and they are sold 6 in the lot, and they do come nicely packed and protected and wrapped. So as I showcase for you all of my great ideas, what I'd love you to do tonight is give yourself a shout out and just say, hey, I'm from, my name is so-and-so, and tell me an idea that you have that you might put inside a 2-inch jar. And when we're all done, later on this evening over on my blog, Remarkably Created, you'll find a PDF of 35 ideas. As you can see, I've already found 4 more, so I'm really kind of hoping to expand this list to 50 ideas. So let's just jump right in with some of the ideas. So the very first thing that we can do is we can wrap the outside of this, there we go, the outside of this with any type of pretty papers. And I have found that to cut this just under 2 inches if I'm going around the outside, and then about 6 1/2, 6 3/4 will give me an opportunity to overlap it. And when I'm putting it on, I'm going to go ahead and use sticky tape because I find that putting sticky tape on it really does allow it to adhere better. And you're just going to wrap that designer paper around, overlapping it on the back side. So that's one way that's really quick and really easy for you to go ahead and wrap it. Another way is to simply take a 2-inch piece by about 6 1/2, 6 3/4, curl it up, put it down inside, and allow it to open up. That's actually one of my favorite ways because I love that you get that shine of the jar on the pretty paper, and I love that I don't have to use any extra adhesive, that I can just pop that down inside. So that's going to be one of my favorite ways of dressing these up. So you have that option there. Another option that you have is to take the lid, to take a paper piercing tool. If you don't have a paper piercing tool, some type of really sharp pointy tip that you can literally just punch right through that. And I make sure that I have a paper piercing mat down. I don't want to like hurt my work surface. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a hole in the top. And the reason I'm going to make a hole in the top is so that I can create something that hangs. In this case, I have a little luminary, and I'll show you 3 options for lighting and inside of these jars in just a second, but another option is to hang them. Another reason why you might want to hang them is that we are in the mulled wine season. I'm not necessarily a fan of drinking mulled wine, but I love scenting my house with mulled wine. I love putting a pan of mulled wine on the oven and just smelling it. And so gifting a nice bottle of wine that is used for mulling, and then to hang a bottle of mulled wine spices onto that bottle, that's kind of a fun way to gift it. Also at some of your fun little food boutique stores, you can go ahead and find little gourmet crackers. I found these fun little rosemary, tiny little round crackers, which is perfect with wine, a little snack. And so, oops, I didn't secure that very well. I can go ahead and hang those cute little crackers from a bottle of wine. So you may want to hang them as ornaments. You may want to hang them around the neck of a bottle. So let me show you what the inside of that would look like. You poke that hole in. You're going to feed your ribbon through, and then you're going to put a little bit of tape on the 2 loose ends. Secure it better than this one that just popped out. And then you're going to die cut a 2.5 inch circle and press that down to hide the tape. I did not do that here because you need to see this step right here. So that's another option. So wrapping paper around the outside, putting paper on the inside, going ahead and poking a hole in it so you can hang it as an ornament, or you can hang it around the neck of a bottle of wine. Is a lot of fun. Now I mentioned 3 variations that you have for lighting the inside of them. So here in this case, can you see how pretty that is? All I did here, and I'm going to hold it up even closer for you, this is just our simply vellum cardstock that I went ahead and die cut with snowflakes, and then I put a little bit of mica flakes in it. I'm going to show you these lights here that are inside of this. Let me see if I have a better one to show you those with real quick. Obviously, I'm not the only one who loves the idea of mini switch boxes. One of the things about fairy lights is that the fairy lights were usually about this big and the box of batteries was about this big. There are these new, really, they're called mini battery packs with your fairy lights, and they just happen to fit perfectly down inside. And because they're white against the white, you don't really see them. So you can light them up with fairy lights, and you can create really pretty luminaries, whether you're doing some sweet place settings, you want to put these on the mantle, you're doing some fun favors and giveaways, and then I just die cut a circle out of white velvet and then several snowflakes that I layered together. So you can put fairy lights inside of them. That's one way to illuminate them. Another way to illuminate them is simply with a battery operated tea light. Now in this case, this one's not going to glow real well. These are tea lights that I had in the house that are that amber color light. When working with these as luminaries, I would get the bright white. You can see the benefit of the bright white here. It kind of has a bluish tint to it. So this one's not going to show as well through here, but tea lights would be a great one. And this is actually a really fun one. This is our acetate, and it has purple on one side. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be holiday themed, and it's silver on this side, and then I put 2 polar bears. And one of the things I was thinking as I decorated this is, oh my gosh, I really wish I knew someone that was having a baby that I could throw a baby shower for in January when it's cold and frosty and icy, and we could do a mama bear with a cub on the way, right? Something different that hasn't been done for a shower theme, but that mama bear thing would be kind of a lot of fun, and then just kind of a big frilly top. Instead of a tea light in here, of course, you could have favors that you would be gifting to the friends, but also just for decorating during January in those frosty months. Or maybe you're doing a special themed event with the ladies at church or the teachers or something like that. So that's another way to light it. Yet another really fun way to light this, and I don't know how well, let's turn on, I can't turn off some of the lights. I'm going to take another picture of this for you, but if you were to see this sitting here, what I did was I took the paper piercing tool and I poked lines. I just simply poked the outline of the lion, and I will take a picture in the dark and post this after the video because it's so cool, guys. And I went ahead and just poked around that outline, and then the light comes through where the holes are and you have the illumination of the tiger. Of course, if you were really good with handwriting, you could actually do the same thing by poking holes with somebody's name or the graduating class or the year. You could also freehand some designs on your paper, and then the lights are in there. And then the other idea is one that I showed you the other night, and that is using these little lights right here. These little lights are really, really cool. I found them on Amazon. I went searching for small little things for our jam jars and things that I could also use in the future. It has a little hook right here so that I can tie it so that it hangs down from the top of the lid. I can also just set it right down inside if I want to, and it just simply twists on and off. So you can just twist it down. It's very, very bright, and now it's going to illuminate my paper. To create this one, I went ahead and used our vellum, and I just die cut or punched the trees with a little bit of a border, real quick and real simple for that one. So those are 3 different ways, actually 4 different ways that you have of lighting it. Tea lights, fairy lights, and doing some paper piercing to allow the lights through. So that's 4 ways. Something else really fun that you can do with these jam jars is that you can create really pretty favors, whether it's for a shower, a wedding, a luncheon that you're hosting, whether it's for place settings at your own holidays. But again, you can create some really, really pretty little place setting favors, decor items, And depending on how you put them together, if you're simply doing them for your own table at home, you can repurpose them over and over again, which is another benefit of the paper going on the inside, is it makes these repurposable for future decorations. And if I know crafters, the one thing that we like to do is reuse things over and over again. So in this case, I have the cork paper inside. I'll talk to you in just a minute about putting ribbon on, and I have a little succulent inside. Created a sweet little tag. Thank you ever so much. Little butterfly, little twine, little ribbon. These ones here, these little table favors, just use some little kind of cheap picks that you can get at the dollar store, but when they're sitting on the table are oh so pretty. Kept it real simple, just again with cork paper and a little bow. And then this one, little table favor again, just has some silver paper to coordinate with the silver ball. And you've got that, so you've got some pretty place settings at each person's place. You could dangle their name from them. Again, whether they take them home or not, that's gonna be up to you whether you repurpose them. Of course, some of the other really fun things to put in containers like this is chocolate. In this case, I have dark chocolate caramels with sea salt. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. And we have choices with the jars. Do we wanna see what's in it? Or do we want them to be surprised? That's up to you. In this case, I wanted them to see the chocolates. Another fun thing about a jar like this, if you were to leave it on a coworker's desk, is they can open it and close it and kind of enjoy the treats over a couple of days, just kind of pulling one or two out. You could also refill it, which is a lot of fun. So you could stop by and refill them. In this case, I just put chocolate love. I have 2 little hearts. And then I have a pretty multi-loop bow on the side. So we have chocolate love there. Another love of mine is coffee. And in this case, we have a little tag right on the top. We'll talk about these doilies. I've got a whole bunch of tips wrapped up into this video for you guys. Coffee, coffee cup, and then we have some gourmet coffee beans for them to ground. This is probably enough for a pot of coffee. And a little bow on that. And to tie into that, here are some dark chocolate covered espresso beans. My favorite. I love dark chocolate covered espresso beans. And to create this topper, we did 2 things. We created a paper doily to fold down, and then we created this fun topper. So let's first talk about these 2 doilies and how we worked those. So let's grab 2 empty jars here for just a second. I think I have another empty one. Here we go. And let's start with the easy one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a little piece of tear and tape. And then I'm also going to take tear and tape around that top where there's ridges. And I'm just going to put that tear and tape around that top edge. The doilies that I'm going to show you are a sneak peek from the spring catalog that debuts on January 4th. Of course, you can use any doily out there, but these ones are in Stampin' Up! Colors, so they coordinate with our products, and they just turned out to be just the right size for these mini jam jars. And as long as I've got this laying right beside me, let's grab it and put it to use. So what I did, again, a little bit of sticky strip here, and then where the ridges are here, I'm going to leave the doily. It is white on one side, so how much fun is that? You could simply also just do generic white if you wanted, but I do want the misty moonlight showing. So I'm going to turn it upside down so I make sure that I hit the center. And then I'm going to just take and literally just crunch those edges down onto the sticky strip. And there I've wrapped the top of my jar really, really easily with those doilies. So very simple, very easy. That's what I did here. And that worked out great. This one's slightly more challenging. And so we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put that piece on. In this case, I'm taking the tear and tape, and I'll show you in just a second, in the middle of the lid. And let's pull this off. I have a piece of designer paper, Pretty Papers, cut 5 inches by 5 inches. Pick the side, the pattern that you want, what you want showing. Let's get this piece off. And again, just like I did with the other one, I want the heart showing. So I'm going to turn this upside down. I'm going to position this kind of in the center. And then I'm just gonna grab my hands and I'm gonna just crunch this down and really work my hands to push that into the tear and tape. And then I'm gonna bring a piece of ribbon around. And then when I was all done, I just freehand tore those edges to kind of give them a rough little finish. And that's how I created that. For this fun topper here, you're going to need shapes, whether they're circles, they're hearts, anything that you can fold in half and put back to back. In this case, I did 5 circles, put them on the top, and that's what gives me that fun little accordion topper on this one. And all of these ideas will be on my blog later tonight. I will be putting them all up there for you. A recap from the other day. Of course, crafters love baker's twines and embellishments, and in this case, I put 3 of our spools of baker's twine in here, wrapped it with baker's twine, put a little Get Crafty tab, and then mimic the look of a salt shaker with our matte finished embellishments. This one again, keeping it real simple. The paper is on the inside, and I put some sticky strip down and just wound silver twine, keeping it uber simple. The cool thing about crafting, guys, is you can go as fancy as you want, and you can go as simple as you want. It's totally based on your aesthetics, your end goal, your supplies, your budget, your time. There's so many variations, guys, and there's no right or wrong way. I mean, do it up fancy, do it up simple. Again, it's gonna be up to you. Another one that I showcased for you guys the other day was our sweet little pet treats. And here I have mini little pet treats. Of course, you could put kitty treats in there, but these little mini bones are great. And then just to showcase you, the small milk bones fit down inside, and you can put 7 little milk bones, because we don't want to forget when we're visiting friends and family that have pets to take a little treat with their permission. Of course, I never give a treat to another animal without their owner's permission, just like I don't to kids either. So, but again, the small ones fit perfectly height-wise. Then you have your minis. So while not decorated, let's look at a few more other ideas of things that you can put in them. Our little Dove chocolate squares, you can put a hefty amount in those. And what's fun is you have the different color choices depending on the flavors that you're wanting to pick. So, you know, are you a dark chocolate person? Are you a sea salt person? So Dove chocolates are amazing, and they're a great thing to put inside of there. Small bracelets and jewelry and earrings fit really nice and down inside. I teased my husband, especially since one of our cars got totaled during Hurricane Ida, that a car key will fit really nicely down inside of here. We are still shopping. Sponge daubers, so you could fill one of these with sponge daubers if you're wanting to craft or give a gift to your crafty friends. Peppermint bark, maybe you are a baker, so you could fill this with peppermint bark or gourmet popcorn. One of my friends, Michelle Reynolds, always made this popcorn with white chocolate and butter, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it was like addictive, addictive. You can put 3 to 4 Ghirardelli squares in here. So again, that's something fun and easy and refillable. Of course, all of your small candies, your unwrapped, what are those things called? I love them. They're unwrapped and they're the little squares. If you think about them and you know what I'm talking about, put them there. But gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, they now have mini Swedish fish, guys. Oh my gosh. So any of your fun little candies, so these would be great birthday favorite jars. What's nice about these is it allows you to portion the candies and the treats out, which can be very budget friendly. So I love that. And again, then they can be repurposed. I love that Maria mentioned loose tea leaves. I didn't think about that. I had recently found this brand that has these tea bags, and they just happen to fit perfectly in here. So tea bags, you saw the coffee beans and all of those things. Something else fun, how about cash? Good old cash, right? Everybody loves cash. So lots and lots of ideas. And then just a couple of packaging ideas. This is our coffee carrier. And while these are just a little bit smaller than what the coffee cups would be, it gives you plenty of space to really fluff them up with that crinkly paper or with tissue paper. And in this case, I just used our white embossing paste to kind of make it look raised and frosty. But you can use our little coffee carriers for a quick and easy way. There are lots of patterns as well on the internet for different boxes and things if you want to go that route and put that time into making things. Oops, sorry about that. Making things like that. But I just took advantage of our coffee carriers. And then in the last video, I did mention these fun little wagons that there's 2 different sizes. One holds 2. They're at the dollar spot at Target. And you know how that is, guys. Absolutely hit or miss. I will tell you that some of the Target spot items I have been able to find online, and I've never been able to do that before, and I think it's because some of them are no longer $1, and so that might be why. So some fun presentation ideas. So make sure you come visit my blog later tonight. I will have pictures of the different projects. I will have a PDF of my 35 ideas. I'm going to go back through all of your ideas to see what else we can be adding here. Maria just mentioned loose tea, so we want to make sure that loose tea is on the list, which means that we are now up to 45 ideas. So I will also link for you guys the 3 different lights, the 2 different lights. These little ones that hang, these ones right here, I'll link those. And then I will link for you these amazing mini. These are just amazing. These tiny little things, I love them. Oh my gosh, the days of those big bulky battery cases for fairy lights is over. These use the hearing aid batteries. So I will link those for you guys as well too. If you have any questions, let me know. But for the most part, the products that you saw here tonight can always be shopped for in my boutique, and I would love to help you with any of your holiday crafting ideas. But all of these ideas, guys, go well beyond the holidays. We want to decorate for parties and showers and special dinners and give special gifts year-round, guys. So yes, definitely put some of the ideas to work now during the holidays, but I can't wait to see what you guys do with these jam jars.